Button is depressed. End of the month is here. Right on the set.
All right. Quiet on the set. You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia. Coming to you live from Deltona, Florida. 7 years plus and still running. Who'd have ever thought they would last this long? Lunch with no other than the dynamic duo themselves, Laz and Jack.
Greetings, everybody. This is Laz.
And this is Jack. Welcome to another edition of Lunch with Laz and Jack, where we interpret the nude so you don't have to do anything other than question your own personal life choices and ours. Because it's another day where we get to talk about Shroud of the Avatar.
It is Monday, February 28th, 2022, here inside and outside Shroud of the Avatar. That means it is the last day of the month, which means it is the last day to get in on tomorrow's supporter race. So if you haven't hit us with that sub yet, you haven't donated 500 bits or more yet, and you want to be in that race tomorrow, then make sure you get that done today. And of course, Waldo starting out Monday Madness with 300 bits. Thank you, Waldo. And of course, 300 bits will get anybody a mystery game key like Waldo just got. And Waldo's got himself a copy of White Knight. White Knight.
No idea what games they are until
That's
we
right,
click on
because
reveal key.
Mystery game keys. That's $14.99 on Steam.
Waldo's getting himself a copy of Verdant Skies.
Verdant Skies.
Verdant Skies. Let's go see how much Verdant Skies is. $19.99.
Nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Waldo's got so many games. I don't know how he plays them all. I'm sure he doesn't actually play them all, at least not all at one time.
He's retired. He gets to play them all
he gets to play all he wants. That's right.
Yeah, he gets to decide which ones I'm going to play, which ones I'm not. Oh,
Get off of there.
You ready to talk about that Tweeterverse? Because there's
actually some tweets today, you mean, or some from the other day, or from some time ago. More tweets than we've seen in the last 2 weeks combined. I don't know.
Yeah. So Friday's live stream was 4 p.m. On Friday after the stream, he tweeted out, "Guys, thanks for tolerating me rambling and muttering for an hour tonight. Hopefully you guys
I was going to start
What
with I had the one
rambling?
before that queued up, but that's
Oh,
okay.
the live stream at 4,
Yeah.
going over release stuff, a bit of Q&A, going to try to talk about seed invest stuff without crossing any lines for what I can say, and then force you to watch videos of puppies. Hey, it's better than me singing.
Yeah, he didn't do the videos of puppies, and he sang anyway. So.
Yeah. And then, guys, thanks for tolerating me rambling and muttering for an hour tonight. I will definitely agree that was a lot of rambling. I mean, worse than Laz and Jack.
An hour and a half plus, actually, but
ramble. Hopefully, you guys something useful out of it. I'll stick to Q&A when I do a stream in 2 weeks. And then Crafty Method with the great stream, Chris. That stuff must be hard to talk about. Much respect. One thing that didn't seem to get touched upon is Richard's commitment ensuring to the project's success. Was it a job for him or a passion project to see to the end? Being polite as possible, he does seem a bit of a paradox. Is he testing his LB account in ghost mode? Would explain his character being offline since November 2021. On stream, Chris seemed worried about Richard will message him.
Where are you at? Yeah, hold on.
What?
Where are you at?
Crafty Method, February 27th.
Oh, I only see
26th, 27th.
Oh, I'm looking at the replies to that tweet. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Well, there's only three replies there that I see.
Crafty's got 3 replies himself.
Not according to hitting.
I'm only reading what I see, man. And then a high net individual willing to lose creative control of a project, being a sometime boss, sometimes player, while not publicly logging in while still working on the game yet being away. Sometimes LB has a sticker on the box. Sometimes that sticker seems to now be Atos's. I don't know.
You're talking about thanks for tolerating me rambling? Is that the?
Yeah.
No, there's only 2 retweets and 3 replies. One of them from Richard. One of them from Chris. You sure you're on the right one?
Yeah.
No, I think you're reading the.
Guys, thanks for tolerating me rambling and muttering for an hour tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit refresh and tell me what you see.
I do not see Chris's reply until I go below. Let's see.
Yeah, see, that's what I don't like about Twitter.
Yeah. Then Chris's reply to that, this was absolutely a passion project for Richard as well. He is still involved, but he knows that most of our time is occupied with just cleaning up old stuff versus tons of new stuff lately, which can dampen anyone's passion. Yeah.
See, all I see is Crafty Methods, great stream. One thing you didn't get in touch, and then that was all one post, and then Chris's post, and then Grav's post. That's all I see on that.
I thanks to Twitter, man. Grav posted, it would be cool to get an old time Grand Tour quest with a special 100 hat. Art release 100.
That would be.
Would be. But let's go to February 27th tweet. Warning. I'll be turning off double XP tomorrow, Monday morning, and we'll be returning to normal XP. Or as some call it, half XP. Oh, I see what you guys are doing. Working on some other special reward stuff to mix it up with double XP in the future.
5 comments I see on that one. How many do you see?
5.
Okay.
Robert Rindy with it's at the sweet spot now, and hope you'll consider making it the new norm. Not for me, but for newer players. It gives them hope for getting good at a decent rate. Oh man, that's one with that double XP. I would just create a new character and then just teleport to one of those groups that's leveling somewhere and hope they let me in and just like keep on like turn everything off and just collect all that XP and then just like one skill at a time.
That's the way to do it.
I know, because you'll never hit attenuation until you're hit level 100.
Yeah.
Introducing one Toph G. Introducing One Shot 1st of April, where all day you will kill anything and everything with a single hit. Enjoy it while it lasts. Spectrum can't wait for double meticulous collections. Zuzana, Monday is my birthday and I took a day off. And Adagrim, nice. Looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah, all in different sequence for me, but that's okay. Thank you, Twitter.
Twitter consistency, man. Twitter consistency.
But to answer Tina's question, yes, the post is actually still up. The video is actually still up.
Yes.
But we've got copies of it just in case it went down. They've been posted in Discord, and I know several other people who have copies just in case it was taken down because somebody felt that they said too much. But let's talk about a couple other things real quick before we get into the meat and potatoes, because this has just really got me scratching my head. First off, aside from maybe slightly ripping off Wake Up New Britannia, slightly. I don't know what if you would call it that, but maybe you would. First topic posted.
Wait. Where are we going? The massively OP article?
No, just start at the first link I put in there and work your way down.
I didn't want to go to Where's Winston.
Well, yeah, and I've got to question this because
okay, where in New Britannia is Winston? I'm coming up with some more ideas for in-game events for players. Some of these run by themselves.
Where's Waldo?
Yeah,
originally shown on Wake Up New Britannia every weekend.
Like the Catnip Games monthly fishing tournaments and treasure hunts. Others are done live with Winston and others in the game, and the event is conducted live. I drafted a Where in New Britannia is Winston? Someone based on the old game Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Here are some details. Winston is somewhere in New Britannia.
Yeah, no. You skipped the really questionable part right there.
My draft ideas are on my user page on SodaWiki.
Why are we placing ideas on SodaWiki? Yes. Why are we placing ideas on SodaWiki? First off,
I don't know.
Let's click on that link and get on over there because,
draft idea.
Draft idea. I thought SodaWiki was a wiki for factual stuff in game that was informational that people can look to get answers to question, not to take ideas and clutter up SodaWiki. Sorry, Winston. Sorry, Winfield, if you're out there watching, but just personal feelings on this. A draft idea should be posted on the forum right where it is, back here.
Until it's an actual thing.
And even if it is an actual thing, it's not something that I think would be related to SodaWiki because it's a dev-run event that'll happen or not happen. So
the fun part about this, go to location, do this at least 15 minutes before announcing the game. Hide location on the friends list, settings, multiplayer, must log off, and then log in to clear the location properly. Go to the scene, teleport to zone scroll, walk to the scene, or GM command travel load. Go to the location in the scene, walk to location, stay visible in the scene. Do not use skills, moon, vanish, and shadow form subterfuge. Okay. All of that is defeated by this little black thing on the lot in the game.
And the Findros
The tablet of finding. Okay.
You mean one of these little guys right there? Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So 10 has his location hidden. I can use this once a day and tell you that, hey, he's out adventuring and gaining some XP in Ravensmoor. Sorry, 10.
Let me see here. I have to pull up my friends list just to verify that 10's location is hidden.
Yes.
Location is what I really need.
Yes.
So yeah.
Oops.
All these people's locations are hidden. I don't even see 10. There he is. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And Economist was like, Chris was saying that he was going to disable that for working on devs.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You know what I would like to see fixed while you're talking about disabling things? Let's get over to this rent thing that's still sitting there outstanding that had me 200 grand in the hole because it's not fixed yet. With this, 60-day rent, that's still not sending out emails, still not updating properly, and causing people to go away in the hole. And then now we're going to start seeing people who forgot about it. And then their stuff's going to, well, thankfully their stuff will most likely now go to the Magic Mover. But
if they're not online, it tells you they're not online.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway,
that's why I had to go with someone that was actually online. Hey, I actually could have found Winston. That's what I should have done.
If he was online. Is he online?
Yeah, he is online.
Oh, well, is he showing as not, let me see. Did I add Winston yet? I don't think I have Winston as a friend.
Yes. Let me go see if I have another tablet of finding. Come on. Load my rewards.
Oh, okay. You know what? I can run over to my lot right here because I have one sitting here.
I pulled one out of my rewards. Yeah. So Winston's name is not, he is hiding right now. He is out in the town of Vengeance currently.
That doesn't even have to be, he's in Vengeance.
Oh no. I already found him.
So much for that idea.
Yeah. Findoro's Tablet of Finding, if you have that pledge reward, defeats that game.
So, may want to rethink this, Winston. They also want to rethink of putting ideas on SodaWiki. Just saying, SodaWiki is not a place for ideas. SodaWiki is a place for factual stuff that is actually in-game. It's going to help players. They don't need to know what your preparation methods for what your character might be doing for this. I mean, there is no need for,
Yep.
But again, this is, let's go back to the actual post.
And
those are given out every 5 minutes. Entire game lasts no more than an hour. First person to find Winston wins the prize. Yeah.
And so, Bayard points out, many years ago, Radio Free Britannia ran a contest just like this to great success. That was the Find Baldo.
Baldo, yes.
Baldo from the Wake Up New Britannia.
That's exactly what I said. Wouldn't be stolen from Wake Up New Britannia that used to do this every single weekend.
And where's Baldo? And they would broadcast from that location, and Baldo would just be randomly standing somewhere.
And of course, also easier to find them using teleport to friend or zone scrolls because that was also something there. And of course, commentary down here, which was I will just teleport to a friend and win the game, coming from Kelly O'Shea.
Yes.
But of course, if it's the dev property is hidden,
then you can't teleport to that person.
Yes.
But Fendora's Tablet of Finding circumvents that hiding your name.
So you and I should win this contest every week then, right?
Well, we spoiled it for everybody by mentioning that, because I don't think the Tablet of Finding was even brought up at all. So no one else in that thread mentioned the Tablet of Finding. So if Winston does the game, and you're paying attention to Lunch with Laz and Jack, then you know the secret: Fendora's Tablet of Finding.
That's right.
Yeah.
Crafty method, hanging out on the lot. What's up, Crafty?
Yeah. And hi there, Crafty. How many of those tablets are still in the game, Scoffer? I have 2 right here.
Yeah,
Laz has at least 1.
There's at least 3 sitting on these 2 lots. Let's just put it that way. So Jack can actually find multiple people. I actually sold my second one, so I only thought I ever, I don't think I've ever used it before today. Just, it's been sitting on the lot as a deco, just like Jack's is over there. They really don't have much use for those.
Well, remember, it's like before the inclusion of the outhouses, whenever the Deco Divas needed to build a bathroom or a garderobe,
they would use
the Fendora Tablet of Finding for the Deco.
Waldo has one, so we're up to 4.
Yeah, at least
there
4
are plenty of them in the game.
There are at least 100.
Let's look over here. Just what was the reward?
Yeah.
Let's see what level.
Selenia just put a bathroom in her house, but she's missing the seashells.
This was, let me see here. From Ready Player One, and it was a patron pledge reward, and I'm trying to follow the link for that. So this was a $220 patron benefactor pledge reward. So I'm going to say there are literally hundreds and hundreds of them out there, because it was a very low.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me come over to my chest. Do I have more? Let's see.
I'm going to say I should probably have more than that then, because I've got at least 5 accounts that were over that. Over that. I don't know. Let me.
That's why I got to come over here and.
Yeah, I would actually have to go to the other accounts. They all wouldn't be here.
Well, mine is all going to be inside of chests over on this wall.
Yeah, but Scoffer, even if they were sold to somebody else in game, so they're still in game, dude. You got to understand that they weren't sold to somebody outside the game and they disappeared from the game. They're all still in the game. Now there was another one that now that we're talking about this, I got to bring this up. This wasn't queued up for today, but I gotta hit on this topic.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, hang on, because you're gonna laugh at this one. Oops, no, not that. No, not that.
I have way too many chests that aren't organized.
Bring this topic up that I just threw in there, because this is one that just you're gonna have to scroll up.
Wait! I've got 3 more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got at least 5. I may have even more than that. Oh, come on. Yes, I can do lots of finding.
Yes. As Jack's now laying down.
Yeah, I've got 5
Now,
there.
is it me or is it an optical illusion that
Hold on, I have
the,
to
the
like go back because I
the
had a
one that was first place looks a lot bigger than the other four you just placed around them?
well. So I increased the size of them
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
when
is
I placed it.
I was gonna say, man, that's really weird that one's bigger than the other four, but okay, yeah, it
Yeah,
was a scalable item. Okay, that
yeah.
makes sense.
I had a PM from someone that I had to ask a question whether or not she lost her underwear. Um,
Gotcha. Bring up this topic real quick
okay,
because
someone wants to buy the Royal Elderberry dye recipe. Um, yeah, you shouldn't be able to trade it.
not true as far as I recall.
What? Well, it was never supposed to be tradable, or and then they had to fix that bug.
No,
Remember?
you're talking about the actual
Oh, the seed.
seed, the
Uh,
seed.
uh, yeah,
Well, even then, no, the seed was tradable. They just weren't supposed to be duplicatable.
well,
Where
that too.
when Chris says we never had any dupe bugs, that was not quite true. But just read through this real quick because this is just interesting.
Please contact me if you have the recipe for sale. Looking for the recipe only. I only know of one recipe that has not been used. Now it's used as deco. Best bet would to ask in game or trade channel. For your information, it will probably be stupid expensive. If you want something dyed, hit me up. I can dye it for you. Um, I saw one at an auction a few months ago. I'll keep looking. Hello, how much are these worth? If I had to guess, 2 mil would be cheap, dirt cheap. Like I would buy 4 to 5 mil, 4 to 5 at 2 mil each. Realistic would be closer to 5. Not sure an owner of one would sell for that, but 5 falls into the realm of maybe selling and still finding someone that might buy. If someone wanted to sell one at 5 million, I would be tempted, seriously tempted, and it would become a deco item. Since it's too easy to find someone with the recipe to dye it for you,
Not quite
the,
true either.
the recipe is a statement piece, a very fragile item from the origins of soda. Tradable. Everyone thought royal dye was cool, so they used the recipe. Then the seed bug hit, and there
That was the bug.
are
Yeah.
more elderberry seeds than recipes, so recipes became even more scarce. Players had the seeds available, but no way to use them. It's been a long time since I saw a recipe for sale, but they are out there. Also, some players accidentally sold their recipe to the NPC, so there is a slim chance of getting it as
Yeah.
well.
Now
No, there's not. Yeah.
this is what I wanted to talk to you about. I don't know
Yeah.
anybody who would have sold that recipe to an NPC and
Yeah.
quite possibly having it show up as loot. But that would be the only other reason why
Yeah.
Fiendro's tablet of finding wouldn't be in somebody's inventory is because they had sold it to an NPC. In which case,
Yeah.
it would not
Or they
become
sold it to
loot
another player. Yeah.
because only crafted items go into the loot table. Only crafted items go into the loot table.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
get down
Tina's
from
like,
there.
I bought both. I'm pretty sure that I used mine on both, all 3 of my characters.
Poor Rusty is attacking a plant that he's not supposed to be doing, which is going to get him in even more trouble if he doesn't get squirted. So,
Oh.
so anyway, well, Scopper, that's another different story. How many of those pledges are still active in game? That is a different story. Absolutely, it doesn't mean they're not in game nonetheless. Yes.
Yes.
But anyway, moving right along. Next topic: big cats.
Meow.
Meow meow.
Yeah. Verified. Oh, I got a picture outside. Wall art has arrived. Big cats. All cats doing lion attack and lion bite. Command Snow Leopard to attack the dummy and check the combat log. So claw rend attack. Attacking the practice dummy hits from lion attack. Attacks the practice dummy and hits damage from lion.
Yes.
And that was verified, and it also happens on the non-tamed version. Oopsies.
Alley-oop comes back with an answer, but
it looks like these basic attacks are common to all cats and were just named when the first one was being named. I don't think the attacks are wrong, just the names need to be genericized.
Charisma comes back with,
Just found another naming issue with the lion bite.
Lion bite.
Could possibly just rename the ability to large cat bite.
Yes. But I thought these weren't supposed to be generic. I thought each one was supposed to have its own individual buffs and debuffs and special attacks. And so, well, Allie is doing due diligence there. I don't think that's the quite proper answer to the question. Just saying on that one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get to the next segment coming up, it is that time of the day.
Oh, it's that time to come over here. Click on that manage giveaway button. Click
That's
on
right.
That close button. Announce that close. Click on that draw. And Scoffer.
Dog meat 84. Dog meat 84. Tell me. I think you're dog meat, but just make sure. Give me your in-game name so that.
Scoffer Kata.
Yeah, I would have been sorely wrong on that name.
Which one?
Dog meat.
Yeah. Oh, dog meat. Yeah. Whoopsies. Okay, let's click on that archive button, then click on that create button, then click on create. And I did change that setting to not message you. So Moobot shouldn't whisper you whenever you enter the giveaway. If it does, let me know. What?
I will take a look right now and I will let you know.
What?
It was sending me 2 messages.
Back. Edit giveaway. What the fuck? Okay. Nat, did it message you?
I'm looking now. No, I didn't get a message.
Okay. Well, I had to edit the setting again, so maybe. Well, I may have to edit.
No pop-ups this time.
Okay.
All right, let's get to that next topic. Massively overpowered.
Got
a new article out there.
And it's not by Bree.
Interestingly enough, not done by Bree. I wonder why that was.
It's Shroud of the Avatar boss claims confusion over seed invest. I've done the part I'm contractually obligated to. The water surrounding Shroud of the Avatar continue to get muddier after a letter to investors of the game from equity crowdfunding platform Seed Invest was vaguely discussed by Catnip Games' Chris Spears. Vaguely discussed is accurate as far as ramble goes. Readers will recall that in 2017, Soda's original company the Richard Garriott-backed Portalarium ran a nearly $800,000 equity crowdfunding investment round through Seed Invest. But Portalarium folded and transferred the game to Catnip in 2019 following a series of calamities, including layoffs, transitioning to free-to-play, whaling, player base collapse, delayed rewards, Richard Garriott stepping down as the CEO, stepping down, the new CEO denying his role, that would be Chris Spears, and shuttered offices, as we have continued to cover ever since. Portalarium was legally bound to make reports to the SEC and Seed Invest, but instead left its own non-accredited investors in the lurch. Last week, Seed Invest told backers Portalarium had failed to provide those required updates, the first time the platform had made any public statements about Portalarium's delinquency at all. Over the weekend, during the game's most recent live stream, here's the pared down version in audio only, courtesy of Reddit.
Reddit trolls.
And not only that, it is courtesy of the Shroud Raw page. Spears attempts to explain the Seed Invest situation, claimed that he's been doing what is required by the funding platform as the current owner of the game, and assures the gamers that Catnip Games is still a company.
I don't think there was any question of that.
No, the question was related to Portalarium.
Yes.
But even Chris Spears, as the CEO of Portalarium, is like, I Googled a bunch of stuff on Portalarium that's the same publicly accessible information that you guys have. And you can see the status there. According to Spears, Portalarium was not making any money, and the Seed Invest funding was started by someone else in the company as well as a CFO at the time. Would that be a director of the company that was also a board member of Seed Invest and the COO at the time, Dallas Snell? Spears even went so.
Yeah, questionable there, but yeah, because Dallas left in 2018, so. While it might be possible that he was, and again, we can say this because neither of us have any dog in this race, first off, and while he couldn't comment as to a name because of liability issues, he could state a title. But there were several COOs as well as CFOs as well as CEOs over time. Richard was not always CEO of the...
well, he was the creative director.
Right, but...
his tenure.
What's his name? Hold on here. I think I have it here. No, what the hell?
And they did bring in a CFO for a little bit of time.
Yes.
He wasn't there for very long. But I don't think the Seed Invest was that guy's thing.
Well, again, even if it was something Dallas started, Dallas was gone shortly after it was started, so I don't see that as being something he would have had his hands in. So, just out of have you can all look up Dallas's time and what he has on his LinkedIn and all that and research it yourself. I'm not going to get into all that here. So, anyway, moving right along.
And Selenia's like, how about that? Ignore you got Jack when you asked your question on the stream. Sorry, got a kick out of it, even though it was expected. Absolutely, Chris is going to ignore almost every single question I ever pose, because that would require answers. Spears even went so far as to claim that the seed invest made soda less profitable and insists the studio was caught up in waves of stuff, including Kickstarter, that crippled the game in a lot of ways. Portalarium was supposed to have a successful Facebook game that would fund soda, but Ultimate Collector sucked, and that didn't pan out. Ultimately, Spear says that Portalarium had a third party involved to find a buyer until the project finally fell to Spears himself under his Catnip Games company. The existence of said company is at the heart of the current seed invest situation, of course, but Spears claims that he has been filing necessary reports with Seed Invest and states that the equity company has not responded to those reports, all of which runs contrary to what Seed Invest told investors. Now, I'm going to point out something. Chris loves mentioning the Acclaim CEO turning around and selling all of the company assets to himself for $5.
And then filing bankruptcy. There's a
Then filing
there.
bankruptcy.
There's a little bit of a difference there. So
Then filing bankruptcy. Chris Spears, as CEO, sold all the game stuff to himself for an undisclosed sum. And then what happened to...
Well, you don't have any proof of that.
Well, other than Chris's comments that he is now the owner-operator of...
Well, again, I don't think he actually said all that in the live stream either. But
well, no, but if we go back to the Tweeterverse and look at Catnip Games owns and operates Shroud of the Avatar.
Well, that's understandable, but there's still a lot of gray area there. So
very, very gray, and so it's like.
So I'm not even going to speculate, and I don't want you speculating on what we think we know, what you do know. But Fred Schmidt is the name I'm looking for. Somebody who is, you know who Fred Schmidt is? Because Fred Schmidt was originally the CEO of Portalarium.
Yeah.
Who knows Fred Schmidt? Nobody.
No one.
You know why? Because he's not a programmer.
I have never met Fred Schmidt.
Yeah, and you probably never will either.
No. The existence of said company is at the heart of the current Seed Invest situation, of course, but Spears claims that he has been filing necessary reports with Seed Invest and states that the equity company has not responded to those reports, all of which runs contrary to what Seed Invest told investors.
And that is not true. Chris said he was filing the necessary reports to the company who is in charge of the Seed Invest, not the Seed Invest. There is a holding company who was in charge of the Seed Invest. He is sending the reports to the holding company. He's not sending reports to Seed Invest. The holding company is then liable to do whatever its reporting is. So I've got to correct this article in what it states there, because that is not quite true.
He was filing it with someone.
Well, I just wanted to state that. Yeah. Question to what do they hold right now? Nothing, because all the funds in the Seed Invest were liquidated back in 2020, and this has been confirmed several times over by anybody who's got Seed Invest. And I know somebody out there, if he wants to speak up and say, or even share that with the world, so show the statement where.
We know at least one person has received that document.
I know of several people now who have actually received that. Basically, anybody who has got a Seed Invest account who invested can log into their account, and it's posted right there in their account. So that's how they get that information. There was no email sent out, but them posting the information on your account apparently is noticed.
Shares are zero.
Yes, yeah. So.
Then after that, I can say in terms of the seed invest stuff, I've done the part that I'm contractually obligated to, by which in my company files quarterly reports with them. Spirits told his watchers, that's the part I was supposed to do. I don't know what's going on with the seed invest side. And that's where with them is some other group.
Yes, the
Not
group.
directly to Seed Invest.
Yeah,
Okay.
the holding
Yeah.
company. So okay,
And
that
that is
clarifies it.
a
Just so yeah.
that is a pronoun antecedent issue where it's ambiguous who is them, because Chris will frequently mention that he's posting updates to the investors. Which investors?
And of course, here is China saying he can confirm the statement says it has been zeroed out. So here's
Yes.
somebody. I wasn't going to call him out, but I figured if he wanted to say it himself, because I know he was an investor. So there you go. Here's
Yes.
somebody who is an investor who's actually got that notice, and yeah.
Yeah. And following up that comment, I don't know what's going on with the Seed Invest side of the things that the other group has not replied. Keeping Shroud running is actually the best thing for the investors. We note here that Spears
And
is a
yeah, and let me note here. That's not the seed investors. That is
no.
the
The
founding
actual
investors. Yeah.
yes.
Okay, just to clarify, so people understand that
Yeah.
every time he mentions the investors, he's not
The
talking about the seed investors. Just to
because the seed
clarify that.
investors get zero because they have zero shares. So seed investors share profits of zero are zero. We note here that Spears' account of what's going on behind the scenes have actually been the source of considerable confusion long before now. It was Spears who had first insisted he was not the CEO following the departure of Richard Garriott, a claim that he then deleted in the face of evidence, then insisted he had been appointed CEO without his knowledge and that his signature must have been penciled in by an accountant. Yeah. During the stream, Spears also casts aspersions on Massively OP. So we note here again for the record that Spears has been hostile toward our publication and writers publicly and privately, as well as toward other MMORPG publications for several years, in our case, following our effort to secure comment on documents we plan to use in our reporting. Bordelarium and Catnip representatives ceased responding to accountability inquiries in 2019.
Yes. Especially with Bree, apparently.
Yes. So what are we looking at here? Their analysis of
Alpine. This is a piece from
Friday's
Massively
live stream.
Overpowered on Friday's live stream about Chris and his seed invest statements.
His rambling and not really providing any real answers.
Now,
Other than
I want to go to the last statement because we don't have time for these other ones, and I guess it's no, not that one. The let me see which one it was. The one, the 5450.
5450. Okay, I am there. Let's click play.
Just so everybody understands that something we've been saying for a long time. The game's not going anywhere. Okay.
Yes.
So
3,
count us
2,
in.
1, start.
Never intended to. If Shroud the Avatar continues to make what it makes, it's going to continue. If it continues to make 1/10 what it makes, it's going to continue. The total cost to run Shroud is down. I've got it down to a little under $2,000 now. So my plan is to continue to run Shroud indefinitely. The team size may vary. Again, I'm trying to figure out ways to get more stuff out there for you guys, and some of that will probably involving more community members. But yeah, so Shroud's not going anywhere. Yeah, probably this whole like negative talk and emotional talk, talking about how great it is. I could see how you guys might think that's like a goodbye. No, Shroud's not going anywhere. I promised Ezekiel Cooper, he's out there somewhere. He made me promise that nothing was going to happen to Shroud. As far as I have any control in it, it's not going to go anywhere. I don't know what's going on with the company that's supposed to respond to Seed Invest, but I don't, again, there's some angry people and people saying crazy stuff. That happens all the time, but everything was done legally above board. Under $2,000 a month to run Shroud. Sorry, 2,000 gold ingots a month to run Shroud, and that cost is actually coming down as well. So it's actually getting cheaper to run Shroud as we continue to move stuff, because we're continuing to try to move away from Amazon stuff, as I've mentioned over the past few months, since all of our downtime has basically been related to Amazon. But anyways, yeah, so Shroud's not going anywhere. I bought permanent licenses to everything I buy permanent licenses to. I have, Elwin, that's the data center we have is about $1,000 a month. That's where everything runs, the data center. And then there's AWS cost, which right now is about $800 a month. And then I'm trying to think what other stuff. There's a few other things that we license that we probably do without. Oh, we pay for email. That's another one. So I can send out emails occasionally to you guys, which is a couple $100, not that much. But anyways, yeah, so that's a truth bomb. Don't worry about it. Things will continue. Again, the team size will vary. The team makeup will probably vary. As you guys have known, there's been a lot of people who are on the team who still help the team. Like I just had yesterday, we had a problem and Undone jumped in and came and fixed it. But that's, again, the guys who, we're here in the last 2 years. Every single one of them is passionate about the game and will do what they can to help. And again, it's because they're passionate about both the team and the community stuff, and they're willing to help out for free or cheap. Guys like Tassilo and some of these other guys who've just been around forever, who are still around and still help, and occasionally get paid. So, but yeah.
And occasionally get paid.
Very, very occasionally get paid.
Yes, so a lot of these guys are just still donating time, while they may or may not be actual full time on the project. Alpine, yes,
or they took pay cuts to remain. Yes,
the Seed Invest was to raise money for funding for stock in Shroud Avatar, and if Shroud Avatar became a multi-million-dollar selling game, people would have gotten payouts for their stock ownership, but that never happened. And there are a lot of people who have been wondering for years what happened to their investments, even though we've been informed that those investments were liquidated out over 2 years ago. Well, about a year and a half ago at this point. January, not even a year and 2 months ago, to be technical. Year and 3 months tomorrow. January 1st, 2020 to be exact, it was all liquidated.
Liquidated with never a final accounting provided by Portalarium.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
which, if it happened, was not handled properly because the investors were not given an accounting of what happened with the company.
Well, they were. They just had to log into their Seed Invest to find out that their stuff was liquidated.
There was supposed to be an accounting provided.
Yeah, but again, you would have to be aware of the fine print, and the fine print says that doesn't need to happen, apparently. And I'll let you argue that with some other people, because we're not arguing it there. And again, Tina can probably argue you till you're blue in the face on this. But it was the fine print, Tina. It's more of a moral thing than a legal thing. And legally, they don't have to do squat, according to what I understand.
They don't put moral things in
how
they're supposed to do it. But considering that they didn't provide the quarterly updates during this, after the seed invest, is actually part of a gross negligence.
Again, my understanding is that because of how small it was
So
not legally required.
there you run into an issue, because the dollar figure in the seed invest is $10 million. Portalarium in their paperwork said that it was worth 25 million.
Actually, they said they had 11 million on hand. That was their cash flow, and their valuation was 25 million.
25 million.
Yes.
So right there tells you they have to file the quarterly reports.
But that was nothing to do with the money that was raised with Seed Invest.
No, that's part of the accounting information that Seed Invest should have been receiving to distribute to all of the shareholders.
No, see, again, you need to read the fine print.
That's where it would be, yes.
That was what the Seed Invest was based upon. Somebody could have dumped 11 million into the account for one day. They show that balance, that 11 million disappears the next day, and that's all legal mumbo jumbo. So I'm not a legal expert. You're not a legal expert. 90% of our audience is probably not legal experts, so let's not even go there, because
it's pretty
speculating.
simple when you read
you'll be speculating at best. Yeah, read the fine print. And again, Tina will argue with you on that because we had a nice conversation about that yesterday. So the fine print, I believe, says that you may have to.
Tina's like, as part of liquidating it, they do need to provide an accounting.
And that accounting was given to you in your Seed Invest portfolio where it was liquidated, I understand, correct?
And that's separate from the quarterly reporting.
Yeah, well. Anyway.
Yeah, money is gone. Good luck finding it.
You and I have no dog in this race, so I'm not going...
The other thing is, like, in that Seed Invest, like in the initial documentation, it talked about the burn rate of Portalarium as being $200,000 a month, mostly for salaries. So, yeah.
Yeah, if you can find that information. It's gone.
What? There is
gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Yes.
Anyway.
Continuing player equity.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Waldo, that's what we've been saying since
Seed Invest since
this came up.
Liquidated on January 1st, 2020. Yes.
Right. So, anybody who invested,
they got zero.
Yeah.
And they're not considered the investors that Chris is talking about. If the game makes money, they make money, because the seed investors are zero. Their accounts have all been zeroed out.
Alphon, again, you came in late into this, and it's really too complicated to get into. Long story short, there was an investment round that was funded. People invested money into it for a chance to possibly make a return, and that money is now gone and was zeroed out, and it was cashed out, supposedly used to pay salaries and other things. But again, this was under Portalarium's umbrella, not under Catnip's umbrella. And there's a lot of confusion as to whether Catnip is accountable for it or not. Again, it's a lot of legal stuff. Well, again, Bridge Troll, that's another big point of contention. Basically, if you have your statement which says you invested X amount of money, and you have your statement which says it's now zeroed out, that's all you should need, is what I'm told, to file your accounting. Of course, you're going to have to go back to the year 2020 filings and have to file modified paperwork in order to take that loss. But that paperwork that you have from Seed Invest saying that it was zeroed out should be all you need to take said loss in your tax filings, and no more, no less. Again, I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice, and we don't think that anybody should watch the show and take any advice from us guys. Yeah, you know, I pay zero taxes because I make zero money every year.
No, you actually make a bunch of money on Twitch that you're supposed to report.
If you call a couple $100 a month, which I believe the law states you don't have to claim anything under $600 a month, which I make quite
No,
less than.
it's 600 a year.
No, that's the new reporting for PayPal and all them. The actual legal reporting per salaries was 600 a month. Yeah,
$12,000.
yeah, is exactly, yes, 12,000. It's less than $12,000 a year, whatever it is, which I fall way under. I never get any tax papers from Twitch, from the marketplaces, from any of and I checked them.
I got tax papers from Twitch.
Do you?
Yeah.
I never get any. I check them every year.
Yeah. They
Never
definitely
get
send
any
this year.
Well, yeah, coming up in the following, this year we'll probably see PayPal kick us, Twitch will kick us, Patreon will kick us, at least me.
Yeah,
you're not on
everybody's gonna do
Patreon,
it.
I'll get 1099s from all them this year coming up because of the new laws. But anyway,
Yep. Oh man.
Crafty Method said, "Why not sold to community? Why Atos?" As 1099 from OnlyFans. Yeah, 1099 from OnlyFans. That would be Jack. Yeah, Jack will be getting 1099s from OnlyFans. As Chris said in a nutshell, if Richard was still into coding, if Star could code the way that was necessary, one of those two guys would probably be at the helm doing that. But since Chris had the drive and the energy and the knowledge to do all that coding, it landed in his lap. That's a paraphrase of what Chris had to say. But
yeah, well, I mean, it's there's so much if you go through the history of it.
Yes. Now, of course,
it is time for us to get
before you
out of
do
here.
that. If you do a little cursory search on
Satiri, what's your in-game name? I forgot.
Those links from the massively overpowered and the so-called bad press, they actually have a link to all the press that they've done on Shroud of the Avatar over the time, just to prove a point that it's not all bad press. And it's a list so long that is, so again, we're bad press according to a lot of people, but it is what it is. You don't have to like the news. We just report the news. We don't make it up, but giveaways closed.
We interpret it. We interpret it.
And guess who's getting herself some glass bottles today?
Mom?
The lovely mom is going to be getting herself some glass bottles today. Congratulations, Mom. And let's close out our game key giveaway.
And Crafty won a copy of Smile for Me.
Econdis is the winner of our game key today. And what is Econdis going to get? Econdis is going to get a copy of Torchlight going out to Econdis. Let's see what that's worth for him real quick before we get out of here. And Torchlight.
And my one, I will say this. Why all the secrecy related to the selling of the assets? Why? Because all that secrecy says something underhanded took place.
Yeah. No NDAs for all the other staff. So if we can get one,
no NDAs for the staff, but why so secret?
If we can get somebody non-NDA staff to sit down and talk with us, maybe we can find out some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
But not going there.
It's time for us to get out of here.
We got to run. We'll be back with more tomorrow right here on NBNN. Till then, I'm Laz.
I'm Jack.
And we are NBNN. Have a great day, everybody. And we'll see you all tomorrow.